Hi, so welcome to day 4 of the Less But Better Challenge. We're thinking about energy. And I called today looking after myself seems like hard work, because I don't know if you will recognise the feeling that just the idea that you've got to keep the house clean and tidy, look after the family, look after extended family, hold down a job, get your hair looking decent, keep yourself fit and healthy, plan exercise. It all just seems like a lot. And that feeling especially when you get towards the end of the day, after work time, when the kids are back from school, where you sort of just lose the will to make good decisions. And decision fatigue, whether you've come across that concept or not before, is a thing. And it doesn't just apply to making big decisions. So I think people maybe think that decision fatigue is like deciding on a house move, or like who to marry, or like big choices. But actually, it's the little tiny, little naggy, little boring, little repetitive choices that you're constantly making all day long that actually wear you down. So your journal for today is going to ask you what decisions you could make, maybe just one decision that you could make that would save you future decisions. And then you can reapply that principle lots of times. So the mindset that I used to have around this was that I was in some way failing, like I should be able to fit more in. Other people are seemingly doing it. That idea that when you've been brought up that you can have it all just because you can literally, the world's your oyster, you can have it all, but that's code for you can do it all. And as a working mum, we often feel guilty just all the time. You feel guilty that you're not, when you're not at work and you're doing stuff with the family, that you should be working more, or you leave the office, it makes you feel guilty. And then when you're at home and you've got work to do, blah, 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 and it goes just this guilt all the time because you feel like you should be able to fit more in. So what tends to happen then is you just make your list longer and you resolve to push harder and get stuff done. Multitasking, which, that's a whole messy disaster area. It makes you feel pretty rubbish. Usually the things that you had on the list that were for you get knocked off because I'm only going to disappoint me. I've got to finish all this other stuff. So you're racing around, pleasing everybody and feeling pretty rotten. So the reframe on this is really key for the whole of this challenge. So the first thing I want to say is that you can do anything, but you can't do everything. So that is where this ownership of choice has really got to come back in. And you will feel better if you do less things, but you do them well and you see progress and you get positive feedback. And the things that you're not doing, you're not just doing because you didn't get to them. You're not doing them because you chose not to do them. And I think that's quite key. Okay? So, automation, this is why I'm all about habits. My business name is Healthy Habits Coach. And as much of it as you can make automatic so that you're not making repeated decisions about things that happen all the time, the better. So, for example, food and exercise are really quite suited to being repetitive. I know if you've maybe worked shifts, it's trickier than that. But there are things that can be automated so that they run without decision making, which will help save you energy. Okay, so I'm going to make this too long. Remember to look at Podia, that's where the notes are all about this. There's always pictures and diagrams and things to help you in examples. And your journal, the only thing you need to be doing, if you're thinking, what am I supposed to be doing during this challenge? Fill in the journal question for the day. Okay, catch you on day 5.